Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Manring here. We are going to talk about lesson 7-3 today. So first, I'm going to read you the questions for your daily Common Core review, and then we're going to get started on the reteach. Number 1, Isabel scored 528 points, and Brandy scored 285 points in the same game. Which is the best estimate for how many more points Isabel scored than Brandy? So they're comparing. How much more did Isabel score than Brandy score? And it's an estimate. That means it's an about answer. We're not looking for an exact answer. Number 2, Kiki scored 37 points, Tanya scored 21 points, and Penelope scored 18 points. How many points did they score all together? Remember, all together means I am adding these three up. Number 3, Nico has 6 shelves of books. That tells me multiplication. Each shelf has 8 books. How many books does Nico have on her shelves? How many in all? Number 4, Lauren spends 9 hours practicing music each week. She will spend 9 hours practicing for the next concert. Or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Let me read it again. Lauren spends 9 hours practicing music each week. She will spend 9 weeks practicing for the next concert. How many hours will Lauren practice for the concert? So 9 hours for each of these 9 weeks. Fill in the missing number in the table below. If the normal price is 15, it went down to 12. The normal price is 21, it went down to 18. The normal price is 27, it went down to 24. I see a pattern. How did it change from 15 to 12? The same number was subtracted from 21 to 18, from 27 to 24, and from 40 to the sale price. How do you write the time below? Using words. So you're going to type out this time right here, 6:15. You could also say, it's 6:15. Now let's look at our reteach. Today for math, we are learning more about division. And we're going to be doing that today. Oh my goodness, it's loading so slowly. By looking at our multiplication facts. So we know that multiplication and division are like brothers and sisters, right? They go hand in hand. If you know one, you know the other. We are finding missing numbers in our multiplication table. So they're going to give us multiplication tables like this with some of the factors on the side. And then some of the products, the answers in the middle. We can think of a division problem as a multiplication fact with a missing factor. So if we write 24 divided by 6 equals n, n just stands for number. That's the same thing as saying what number times 6 will give us 24. So 6 times what number equals 24? So we're thinking, what number times 6 equals 24? Well, when I look at my multiplication chart, here's my 6th row. Times 0, times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. Oh, I found 24. And it's in the 4th row. So that must mean that 6 times 4 is 24, which is also the same thing as saying 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So we can use that table to help us with some of these today. Now let's look at this multiplication table. It says use a multiplication table to find the value for n. Remember, n just means number. That makes the equation true. So you should have a multiplication table in your folder. If you look at the blue folder I sent home with you, on the front or the back cover, it has a multiplication table on there so that we can look these numbers up. You can also use what you know about your multiplication facts to solve these problems. So if I have 8 divided by 2 equals a number, that's the same thing as saying what number times 2 equals 8. I am just working backwards. So I'm going to, whoops. There we go. Switch this around a bit. What number times 2 equals 8? What number times 2 equals 8? Well, let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8. When I skip count by 2s, I need to skip count 4 times. 4 times 2 equals 8. Oops. Let me get my mouse over here. 4 times 2 equals 8. Since 4 times 2 equals 8, that means that 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So the missing number is 4. Let's look at number 2. 12 divided by 4 equals a number. Remember, n is just a number. So this is the same as thinking, what number times 4 will equal 12? See where I'm getting my numbers from? I'm just working backwards. Instead of starting with 12, I'm ending with it. What number times 4 equals 12? Let's think. I know it's a double to get to 12. Well, I know the double to get to 12 is 6. So 12 is double of 6. 6 is double of 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. Whoops. Uh-oh. It's going crazy on me, you guys. So I know that 3 times 4 is 12, which helps me. I have a 12. I have a 4. My missing number must be 3. So let's look at 3. 15 divided by 5 equals a number. How many times can we skip count by 5 to get to 15? 5, 10, 15. I skip counted 3 times. So 3 times 5 is 15, which means that 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Oh, here's one that's similar. 10 divided by 5 equals a number. Well, same thing. 5, 10. I skip count twice by 5 to get to 10. So I know that 2 times 5 is 10, which means that 10 divided by 5 must be 2. If I had 10 cookies that I split with 5 friends, each friend would get 2 cookies. Let's look at 20 divided by 4. So if I have 20 candies and I'm sharing them with 4 people, so me and 3 friends, how many will we each get? What number times 4 will get me 20? Let's see. I know that 2 times 10 is 20. 1 times 20 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, 5 times 4 is 20. Let's see if that works. 5 times 4 is 20. It's 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, that works. So 5 times 4 is 20. That means 20 divided by 4 must be that missing number 5. 30 divided by 5 is a number. What number times 5 will get me 30? What number times 5 equals 30? Think about that for a second. How many times do I skip count by 5s to get to 30? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I skip counted 6 times. That means that 6 times 5 is 30, which also means 30 divided by 5 equals 6. How can we use a multiplication table to find 16 divided by 4? We can, remember when we looked at our multiplication table, we can find 16 in the 4 row and look up to see what column it is in. Let's practice that real quick. Let's look up here. Here's my 4 row. 4 times 0, 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4 is 16 right here. So since 4 times 4 is 16, because this is the 4th column, 16 divided by 4, it's in the 4th row, equals 4, the column it's in. See what column it is. It is in the 4 column. So 16 divided by 4, and I know I'm just going to put space for now to draw my symbol, equals 4. Because remember that my symbol isn't really on my keyboard, so I just kind of have to draw one. Or if you go to your shapes here, it has a division symbol as well that you can use. And you can just kind of pop it in there and make it as big or as small as you need. Totally up to you. So this is our reteach. Remember, our job today is that we are finding missing numbers in a multiplication table. We're using a multiplication table and our known multiplication facts to find answers to a division problem. So when you go to page 3, or it might be page 2, depending on your teacher, and you're going to look at the one that says practice 7-3. We are finding missing numbers in a multiplication table. Find the value for n that makes the equation true, and then use a multiplication table. So this is the same thing, 1 through 9. The n is just the number. What number times 7 is 21? What number times 2 equals 12? What number times 5 equals 10? That's the way we're thinking about it. If you need to use a multiplication table, you can use one in your folder. You can also just go to Google and type in multiplication chart. And it's going to take a minute for me to load it. And then boom. You can just click any picture of a multiplication chart right here, and it's going to help you out. So I'm going to zoom on in here. I hope you guys can see this on this tab. And there's a multiplication table that can help me. I like this one because it shows that the 2's in the 2 column, the 3 in the 3 column, so you can follow whichever number all the way over. You know which number it's going to. All right. So for example, if I were to use this for 21 divided by 7, I would go in my 7 row, and then I would go over to 21. I see that 21, whoops-a-daisy, 21 is in my 3rd row. So that means that 21 divided by 7 must be 3. Let's look at our word problems. I'm going to read these to you, and then it's your job to find the answer. Number 10 says, Mr. Bell had 24 colored markers that he equally gives to 6 students. How many markers did each student get? Remember, I taught you guys that this word each is going to either mean multiplication or division, depending on what you're doing. It has us starting with 24 markers and giving equally. That tells me division, giving equally. So I'm starting with my biggest number, my dividend, and I'm giving them equally to 6 students. How many will each student get? You can use a multiplication chart, or you can use your multiplication facts. And I don't think that it recorded right now. Okay. I don't think it recorded the multiplication chart. So I'm going to copy and paste it real quick here. The Screencastify is telling me that's recording the other tab. Here we go. Boop. Magic. Look at that magic happen, y'all. So I really like this multiplication table. You can just find it on Google. And it shows you where all of the numbers are in all of the rows and columns. So 24 gives equally to 6 students. I'm going to go in my 6th row, go over till I find 24 right here, and then I look, oh, it's in the 4th row. So that is the one that I'm going to use. 24 divided by 6 equals 4. 4 markers to each student. Number 11 says, a pet shop has 54 fish in 6 tanks. There's an equal number of fish in each tank. How many fish are in each tank? So I'm going to find 54 in my 6th row. Oh, it's right here. Here's 54. It's in my 6th row, and I look up, and it's in my 9th column. So 54 divided by 6 is how many? James has 36 tomato plants. If he plants 6 plants in each row, how many rows will he plant? So 36 in 6 rows, how many? Hannah uses a multiplication table to find the value of 49 divided by 7 is a number. She says the answer is 6. Is she correct? Why or why not? So here's my 7s, and this is a common mistake. If you go over not far enough, she says, oh, it's 42, or she says 49 is 6. So, whoops, here's 49 in our 7th row, and she says that it's 6. Is it in the 6th column? No, it's in the 7th column. So she looked at the wrong column. Enrico puts 54 photographs into a scrapbook. He put 6 photographs on each page. How many pages did he fill? So if I go to my 6th row and I'm looking for 54 right here, how many went in each page? So I hope this helped you. This multiplication table I just got from Google. For my class, I'm going to make a copy of it, and I'm going to put this on your assignment so you'll have it on there for your practice. If you are in a different class, you can either use Google and just type multiplication chart, or you can ask your teacher, and I bet that they will give you one also to use for this assignment. I hope this video helped, and have a great day, y'all.